After weeks of mounting criticism, the Ford government announces its enhanced back-to-school plan. The government is unlocking $500 million more for better ventilation and social distancing. But with less than 4 weeks until the start of the new school year, will there be enough time for boards to be ready?
Effective immediately, I'm directing that boards will be able to invest nearly $500 million in funding to support local priorities with a focus on greater social distancing in class. While many boards are already looking at utilizing out-of-school community spaces, this funding will also support them further to do that if it is required. To do this, I'll be expanding the ability of boards for this year only in a one-time request to access reserve funding, which is taxpayer dollars that are unspent, which can immediately be used for these priorities with a focus on greater social distancing.
Okay, so let's break this down. $50 million will be for ventilation upgrades. That's been a key concern amongst parents and teachers. As for physical distancing, as the education minister said, boards will be allowed to dip into $500 million worth of reserve funds, rainy day money, as he called it, to hire more teachers and lease extra space if necessary. But remember, this has to be done in less than 4 weeks. The government has come under intense fire for not following the Hospital for Sick Children's report, which states smaller class sizes to ensure distancing should be a priority. The Premier promised this announcement would show his government is listening.
You know, folks, again, flexibility, listening, adaptability. That's how we're going to move forward, and collaboration, cooperation. That's the only way Ontario's been successful compared to our neighbors of the south and the rest of the world, is by working together. No fighting, no disagreeing. Let's all be pulling in the same direction, and that's how we move forward.
The announcement comes as the Ontario Principals Association sent out a strongly worded statement calling for class sizes that support social distancing and a delayed or staggered return to school. And the 4 education unions put out this release saying the government's plan does not meet health and safety requirements, and teachers and students are being put at risk, and they're prepared to take their argument to the Labour Relations Board. Now, the Chief Medical Officer of Health says he believes it is safe for students to return to school, noting the falling COVID cases in the province. And I've told you about the growing call for a delayed and staggered start to the school year. Well, the Education Minister was asked about that today. He says he would accept kindergarten children going to school first, followed by the other grades that same week. Well, that pretty much already happens. And Stephen Lecce said he is not going to mandate boards to have smaller classes. He wants to give them flexibility instead. However, a critical issue is, what if there are still schools that end up with 30 students in a small classroom? Will he allow it? That is a question still to be answered.